and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Thanks for joining me today. I get a lot of questions from people quite often in the comments. How do you do a wheel swap? Where do you get your wheels from? What's a good source? Etc. Well, not only today am I going to show you how to do a wheel swap, or one of the easier ways that I found to do it, but I'm also going to clue you in on where I get my wheels from. And there are many sources out there for wheels, and it all depends upon you. But I'm going to let you know where I get my wheels from and how I go about using them. So let's have some fun today, and we're going to take this Ford pickup truck and we're going to turn it into what's out there now as one of the super treasure hunts. Grab your adult beverage and join along. Okay, we've got this 49 Ford pickup, and this is a pretty sharp looking truck if I don't drop it and break it. But we're going to show you how to take it apart. We're going to go through the steps. Now, this is a newer version, of course, but one of the things I start with is a 1/16 inch drill bit. Now, this just happens to be the same size drill bit that I use when I'm doing 1-72 screws. But I'm not going to screw into the post all the way. What I'm doing here is I'm going to start drilling into this post, and it helps, I found it helps relieve, I'm trying to think of the words here. You're pre-drilling it, so when you go to take the mushroom post out, or at least that mushroom cap, it makes it come apart easier. And I've found that using this procedure here, for me, works the best. Now, there's many different ways out there that people do these things. My friend Paul at Fat Guy Productions, he uses these items called Vex bits, and he's got some information in his videos, but check him out. Now I'm going to use this 9/64 drill bit, and I'm going to take off the edge of the mushroom cap here. I'll zoom in so you can see. Now that I've already drilled the 1/16 drill bit, I'm going to drill really slow here and let that drill bit bite in. Now, the whole objective here is to get rid of the mushroom cap. Now, the best part about this is, yes, I got rid of the mushroom cap, as you see. And I've got this little ring to prove it. Now, you can drill in really deep and you can tear up the base of your car, etc. But if you use this procedure here and go slow and then start to wiggle it around a bit, again, like I'm showing you here, you're going to take out that mushroom cap. And that's the only thing holding the body to the car. All right, now you'll see how easy this comes apart without even using a screwdriver or something to pry it apart. How simple was that? And the best part is, since you're removing just the mushroom cap on the end, you've got literally plenty of post to drill into when you go to put in your screws, so that's good. Now we're going to flatten out the edge of the post, and this will help it so it doesn't bind up when you go to put the truck back together. So all we're doing is just smoothing down the edges from where you just drilled. Very simple. Now, since this is technically a mainline car and a newer car, we're going to use a 5/64 drill bit to drill out the post. Now, if this was a redline car, I would use the 1/16 inch bit. But since this is a newer car, I'm going to use the 5/64 bit. Can't spell it out any easier than that for you, folks. There we go. Now, since I used that 1/16 inch bit in the beginning, I've got little tiny divots in the post that are going to act like my guide to keep this drill bit centered when I drill. You still have to keep an eye on it, But here I'm using my fingernail to see how far I have to drill in so I can put the screw in. And again, you should do this procedure slowly. Now, notice that my hand is not in the way of the drill bit in case you drill through the post, so it doesn't go into your hand, okay? Does that sound like the voice of experience here? Now, some people drill on the bench, some people use a vise. Whatever's good for you, that's fine. Just be careful and be safe. Okay, how far have we drilled in? That's pretty good. Now, I've still got a little bit of a ring on there. I'm going to have to pull that off and file that down a little bit. But we're in there plenty enough for the short screws that we're going to use. Now we're going to get the big post. We're still using the 5/64 drill bit. And we're going to drill fairly slow at first, because you want to make sure that you're in the center of the post. Hold your car nice and square and firm and drill in. Be careful that you don't waver. You've got to hold that car nice and square, because it'll drill off to the side and it'll blow out your post, and then you're going to be saying some curse words. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Clean off your drill bit frequently. Now, if you have to, you can use a little drop of oil on the post or in the post to help the drill bit glide a little bit better. Now, you only need one drop. You don't need to saturate the thing. So this is what I was talking about. Now, you could use WD-40. I prefer to use motor oil or some type of like 3-in-1 oil or something like that. But again, it's up to you. It's up to your imagination. There are guys out there that do a lot of things differently than the way I do. And this is why you should watch some of the other builders and when they go to do their customs also, because you might say, hey, that's different. And you try it and you go, wow, I really like this. So you're getting ideas from all kinds of folks. This tap handle here, now I'm using a 256 tap. This tap handle I got from Bright Vision. Tony over there makes some really good products, so you should check out brightvision.com. But these tap handles are incredibly light, and they're very easy to use. Make sure you clean out your tap frequently, because it'll get bound up in the threads. And if you don't have it clean, it's liable to snap off inside the post. And again, you'll say some curse words. So check that out. Let's go ahead and smooth out that little flashing that's on there. Good enough. All right, let's go ahead and put some screws in there. Nah. I'm going to show you how to do the wheels now. Take a screwdriver if you have to and pry apart the little plastic tabs. Now, if these are metal tabs, you may want to either grind them down or cut them with a set of pliers or something like that, little side cutters. Now I'm widening them a little bit so when I put the new wheels in, they'll go in nice and easy. Now here's the old wheels. Here's the new wheels, okay? I'm using wheels that I get at Sam Ed Wheels. Sam Ed Wheels has a lot of fine products, and this is what I use when I go to do my wheel swaps. We'll get into more of Sam Ed Wheels at the end of the video. Now, the axles normally come a little bit longer, so you can trim them for pretty much any model of car that you have. So that's how much extra I've got. I'm going to go ahead and use a pair of side cutters. Sorry about that angle there. There we go. And snip that off. Now be careful when you go to cut these off, because that little tip off the end will fly across the room. You should be wearing safety glasses when you're doing this. Now I'm going to use my fence pliers, and I'm going to pinch the end of the axle. Now make sure that the axle's in there far enough, because again, if it isn't, it's going to squeeze out and it's going to shoot across the room, and you're going to lose your wheels, you're going to lose your axles. Notice how that's flared out. That will keep the wheel from coming off the end of the axle. Let's go ahead and put that in. That fits perfectly. Now, if you want to do a little drop of glue here, that's perfect. That's great. Now, be aware that if you're using super glue, it tends to give off fumes, as you probably already know. So if you use super glue, it's liable to go ahead and leave a white film on things. So you may want to use an epoxy or some other type of glue. So it's just something to be aware of there. Okay, here's the rear wheels, and they fit perfectly also. Now, this version of truck from Hot Wheels, they have a Super Treasure Hunt edition for this year. And you've seen these things, and they're going for 40 and 50 and 60 bucks, and depending on who's selling them, maybe even more. Now, why not make your own? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have the real thing. But if you can make the same thing for just a couple of dollars with an investment into some nice custom wheels on there, then that's just as good, if not better, and you made it yourself. Now again, since this is a mainline car, we're going to use 2-56 screws. Go ahead, we've already tapped them, we're going to test fit them, they're good to go. You should always test these things before you put everything together. Make sure that you've done it right. That fits perfect. I'll do a video again here in the future. I'm going to do a video on where I get a lot of my products. Now, I do have an Amazon Marketplace page, and I've highlighted in my store a bunch of products. Now, I'm what's called an influencer. I don't physically sell the products. These come from other people. But these are where I get my products from. Now, because I'm putting them all in one location and I'm an influencer, I'm showing you where I get them. So if you buy them from my Marketplace page, I make a few pennies. It's not a lot, but you know what? It's a convenience that I provide to you, so you don't have to go searching all over the internet for the things that we use to do these customs. Now let's put that truck together. Man, this is going to be nice. Now the screw in the back was a little bit on the short side. So I'm taking it out, and I'm going to use the 3/16 length screw, a 2-56 screw, and put it together. Now that looks great. It rolls perfect. That looks sweet. Let's push some of this stuff off to the side. This is what happens when you have too much crap on your desk. It's like a domino effect. Alright, here's the truck before and what it looked like. And here's what it looks like now. Those beautiful Samed wheels make this car look fantastic, or this truck. And I definitely would rather have that than the ones with the old wheels. Here's a Camaro with the plastic wheels. Here's a Camaro, same model, with Samed wheels. That looks fantastic. Here's a Bel Air, okay? And look at the Samed wheels. These are a new product, by the way. These 4x4 wheels, they look fantastic. Look at that. That's beautiful. Here's a Cybertruck. Here's the new wheels. Look at that. These Samed wheels are perfect for what you need to do your customs. Here's the Chevy pickup truck, the C10. Again, with Samed wheels. I'd rather have the ones with the custom wheels, to tell you the truth. Here's a Dodge pickup. Here's the old Power Wagon. Now, these are all plastic, but I'd rather have these real riders. Look at how sweet they look, and they roll perfectly. This looks great. I absolutely love it. Folks, a very simple custom. You can take a mainline, do a wheel swap on there, and you can have an incredibly beautiful custom car. Now, a lot of times the paint jobs on these cars and trucks look fantastic. All they need is a little bit of details, like wheels and painting in the headlights and the tail lights and door handles and stuff. Now I've got myself a car that looks like a beautiful treasure hunt from Mattel. This is absolutely fantastic. And you can do this too. So check out Sam Ed Wheels at www.samedwheels.com. And like I said, this is where I get my wheels from. Now the best part about this is Sam Ed Wheels is in North America, which means you get your wheels in days, not weeks or even months. Now the other products are good, but these are just as good if not better. So check out Sam Ed Wheels. I want to thank you for joining me here today. If there's any other content that you want to see, I've got a whole bunch of other things coming up. Please let me know. Leave your comments there so I can read them, because I read every single one. Okay? And again, I got a lot of things coming out. And check out my webpage at diecastgraveyard.com. Thank you so much for everything today. I've had a great time. And again, if you got questions, please let me know in the comments. My name is Paul. Thank you, and cheers.